In this segment, I wanted to ask you, John, with regards to, we're 2018, halfway through, going to move into 2019. There's tons of changes with Google. They're wanting to make people stay on their products, stay sticky, not leave, etc. Can you talk a little bit about what Google is up to and how we at Local SEO Search and the team, what we're doing to make sure our clients, or what businesses in general need to do to be relevant and show up well in SEO?
So, as you know, Google's main objective is to provide quality results for the user based on their history. So they're tracking a lot of history on your browser. So what they want to do is ultimately have ads placed on any of the search results or any of their platforms, so that when you're searching, you may click on those ads and that becomes a potential lead for whoever's spending money with them. As you know, Google's real estate on the first page of a search engine results page is now AdWords that take on 4 typically, and then underneath there, in some markets and categories, actually on the local space, there's ads right at the top. And then the 3-pack of the Google Maps, and underneath is the organic of potentially 7 to 10, and below that is probably 2 paid ads as well. And then there's some, examples of some additional search queries that you may search. What Google's intent is, I believe, is to try to keep you as sticky as possible on all Google platforms. So the Google Knowledge Panel, which is the Google My Business page, as a business owner, that's the first thing you should be setting up. And there's more information that you can put on there today than you could a couple years ago, right? So just recently, actually a couple of days ago, Google rolled out they wrote out so that you actually, if you wrote a review that was anonymous, they wiped everything out on their platform. So 3% of all reviews on Google disappeared.
Are gone.
Are gone. Unless you have a Gmail account or a Google account, those reviews will stick, right? Because anonymous, there's no one to actually stand behind it,
Sure.
right? So
that's probably better, really, for the user experience. If you see a review, it is by somebody that can be identified.
Exactly.
Versus a competitor saying something about a business that might not be true at all, but we don't know, the owner doesn't even know who that was that wrote the review.
That's correct.
So that's probably pretty good.
So that review aspect, again, you want to ensure that they're real people writing a review, and you need to make sure that you're not soliciting reviews by giving promotions, because Google's really trying to crack down on people that are spamming reviews, and if they see a batch of new reviews in a certain date or a time frame that is not kind of industry average or it's not the norm, they will flag it, right? Or one of your competitors will flag it. So reviews are very important. Another thing that just happened, I believe last month or a couple months ago, they reintroduced the description aspect on the knowledge panel on your Google My Business page. So this allows you 750 characters where you can actually give more information about your business. This was introduced when it first started a couple years ago. Then they removed it and they now reintroduced it. So I believe they want more content so that they stick on the Google platform, and ultimately they don't want you as a customer or a user to go to the website. If all the information's there, they might as well just have you call directly by clicking on the Google My Business Knowledge Panel, right? By providing as much information as possible. So you can now put your menu on there, your services, additional services, promotions. You can actually have a post that stands out and it lasts for 7 days. So this is all call to action. You want to have it as a lead funnel, click funnel, so that you can actually track what's going on.
Interesting.
But there's a lot going on in Google to make you stick there. But as an SEO company, if you're a business owner looking to navigate throughout all this that's happening, it's a full-time job. We in this industry, we kind of know what's going on because we're staying on top of what's going on in the industry. We're on top of all the webinars, trade shows, industry events, workshops. We're reading on what's going on, following the experts, and also Google, right? So there's a lot that goes on a daily basis, and for us, we have a team, and we know what needs to be done, and we know what our competitors are doing. If you're a client of ours, we can actually, find out what is going on from your competitors and either do it better or replicate what they're doing.
Cool. So the idea is Google wants to keep people on their products longer. As a business owner, and we hear it all the time, I've got a family friend, I have someone internally, I do it myself. Really, it is not a part-time job. As you mentioned, it's a full-time job now because there's so many activities required to answer all the signals that Google's looking for, right? They're looking for the best websites that they can post for the results page on page one.
So SEO is much more complex than people may think. It's not like paying for an AdWord campaign where you can just set up a Google AdWord campaign, putting a little ad, putting some money towards it, and monitoring the effectiveness. SEO is more of a long-term play. You're trying to build quality content, building a fast website that's easy and indexable by Google. And you're building it so that people who go to your website will stay on your website, that will navigate and try to learn more about what you can offer. And so therefore Google will build, you're building trust and authority so that eventually you'll rank higher on Google.
And typically, we should talk about branding, because when you buy AdWords from Google, it is really you're renting space, they auction off those top spots, and you're there for as long as you pay. And once your budget is done, it disappears. So speak to maybe the branding effect of earning or owning that real estate on page one.
So ultimately, Google wants you to spend money on ads. And everyone says SEO is dead, or it's going away in 2018, 2019. I've heard this for 5-10 years. And what Google's intention is to provide the best user experience for that person who's looking. And what you need to do is satisfy Google's their entire criteria and signals. So if you know what's going on in helping you satisfy their user intent, you can ultimately earn your way to that coveted first page of Google ranking page, right? But there's no quick way. Links are still very important, ensuring that you have reputation, user engagement on social, more mentions, brand mentions. There's so many factors. Having your website so that's mobile friendly, responsive, make it very conversational. There's no keyword stuffing. There's content that's relevant. Google's now looking for more localized, relevant content that you can now try to dominate your market, because that's how people tend to search and look for a business.
And the philosophy of Google has always been to give the best result for the search term that has been put out there. And frankly, when you ask and when we ask anyone, why do you use Google? It's fast, it's credible, it gives you instant results, and it gives you quality results. So that's why it's trusted today. So I know Google, they want to make money, they sell their AdWords off, but the truth is they still need to put the best websites with the best content, the best information, and frankly that's what local SEO search does.
Yes.
Help clients make sure they put their best website forward for search results.
Yeah, so Google is still the #1 search engine and place where people are looking for their own information when they're looking for a product and service. They're doing research or even word of mouth. So they've heard of that company name, they're gonna Google it.
Yes.
Right? They know they're new to the area, they're renting, or they need some sort of service that needs to be done on your home. They're gonna Google it. If you don't know someone that can refer you, you're gonna probably use Google. I know there's Facebook and they're trying to promote their local services platform, but Facebook, I find, is really used for more of a family and friends place where you want to share your local posts and what's going on.
Interests,
right?
sort of thing, yeah.
It's not really a search engine where you can't find information, right? And it's not really a place where small business owners can really generate a lot of leads and business, right? So
it's staying connected to your client base and having a fan page, they
exactly.
call it.
So it's a different purpose, I believe. So Google search still is the ultimate in terms of getting you new, ready-to-buy customers for your business. That, you know, they're still looking on a daily basis. And I always look back at how Yellow Pages worked 20 years ago. It was the #1 source of businesses in terms of a directory where if you were looking for a roofer or a plumber or a lawyer, you're going to look there because you know it has the most relevant, comprehensive directory of all business owners in one place, locally, right? So that's what Google has become as a trusted source of information and basically a directory and database.
Can you speak to voice search? What's coming up? Because Google, as you say, we search it, people look on their laptops, they look on their personal devices, tablets, phones. Voice is coming. What's happening there?
So in terms of voice, for local business, you just need to make sure that you're providing content that is on your website and possibly on your Q&A knowledge panel on Google that will satisfy a query. So the more questions that you're able to answer on an FAQ page or on more landing pages, Google's AI algorithm hopefully will pick you up as an authoritative figure. So you have to become an authoritative figure before you are on voice. Right? And usually the voice is transcribed and the results are on the Google search engine. So right now, if you're looking for the top or the best restaurants in Toronto, you're probably gonna get the list that is, you know, that will be on voice, but it's exactly what appears on the Google search engine right now. So how do you get on that organic portion of that top 3 list? Doing what we're doing in terms of search engine optimization. Building that trust and authority so that Google will translate those results on search engine to the voice.
And to tie this up in a nice bow, really for a business owner that's watching and listening to this today, it might seem overwhelming, like how do this just sounds too difficult, it's so complicated. Really, we make it easy here at Local SEO Search. The team of 25 staff, that everyone from coders, developers, our citation builders, they all are experts in their field and they're staying ahead of all the Google changes that are going on.
Yeah, so we try to make it easy for business owners that know a little bit or they might know a lot but they don't have time, right? You need a full team to do what we're doing or to be successful on search, right? Especially if you want to focus on the organic aspect. It is prime real estate, so it does take a little bit longer, especially if there's competitors that have been doing SEO for years or decades before you, right? So authority, how do you become the expert in your subject matter in your local market, right? So we help you become that by doing what we do in a full service campaign. And we try to make you not worry too much because when you're with us, we are touching upon every single aspect of what Google's looking for in terms of all the signals to rank a website. And it does take time to build the domain authority, page authority, but ultimately that trust will help you get on that first page and you will convert into more leads and sales for your business.
Thank you, John, for your time today.
Thank you, Roger.